Today, we are talking about smart upgrades to your Ruger AR556, even M&P 15s of the world. We talked about three goals. First goal, upgrading based on functionality and performance. The real question here is, are you or your rifle going to gain some benefit of functionality and performance from the upgrade that you're considering? I mean, really, that is the definition of upgrade. And I say you or your rifle because upgrades can affect the way your rifle shoots or the way that you function or perform with your AR. I'd say one of the easiest ways to decide if the juice is worth the squeeze to upgrade is really think of your AR's mission. Is it defense? Is it hunting? Is it just blasting paper and steel? Because there are upgrades that can favor one or more of those jobs. Upgrade goal number two is comfort and ergonomics. We already said there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all rifle, but that's the whole point of having options to swap out. The point is to customize it to you, whether you've got like a 7-foot wingspan or little dinosaur arms. The more comfortable and ergonomic that you can make your AR556, the better that you can actually perform with it. But for this goal, you probably want to get some trigger time first. In a bit, I've got some questions for you to ask yourself while you're out there on the range, but at least getting a feel for the stock parts will get you pointed in the right direction for upgrades down the road. Goal number three is going to be aesthetics and, of course, sexy appeal. So who are we kidding? The thing's got to look badass too, right? So I'm sure we want a purpose-built rifle, yes, but the damn thing has to look good, and sexifying your AR556 or off-the-shelf AR is pretty damn easy since there's a half a dozen or more manufacturers out there putting their own unique spin on nearly every last interchangeable part for your AR-15. Should you choose sexy over the other two goals? I mean, there's folks out there that do, but really once you've decided for the purpose for upgrading, then go buck wild and choose an option that looks awesome. All right, so keeping those three goals in mind, we're gonna go over the 8 essential and easiest to install AR556 upgrades. And right off the bat, sights, optics, it's gotta be the first thing. If you got the basic AR556 like I do here, then you're one step ahead in this department with your fixed front sight post, your rear sight. If not though, your rifle's pretty much useless without sights. It's unsafe without sights because positive target identification is paramount, bottom line. Beyond that though, the next step is being able to reliably hit that target squeeze after squeeze. The next level is eventually hitting that target faster and more accurately with practice. So when it comes to sights, optics, the first question to ask yourself is, can your Ruger even engage targets accurately out of the box? If so, what can you do to improve your sights? Obviously, the most basic iron sights is step one, but after that, you're moving into a variety of red dots with magnifiers, fixed scopes, low power variable optics, LPVOs. The sky is the limit for how much you want to invest when it comes to optics, but to help you whittle down that list, let's talk about practicality and function. So if you have a front sight post, optics like your LPVOs, your scopes, probably not going to be a benefit here since 9 times out of 10, that tall front sight post winds up in the way. In which case, most people go with a basic red dot, like the Alpha that I mounted here. It winds up being the better choice where now I can choose between a couple different riser mount options where I can get absolute co-witness, where basically the red dot lines up perfectly with my front sight post, or I can get lower third co-witness where my reticle sits above my fixed front sight post. On the flip side, without a front sight post, because there are Ruger AR556s out there with them, although you are open to more optic options, the vast majority are still going to be best served with a good red dot sight, maybe even like a flip to the side magnifier for better accuracy at distance. But if there's one takeaway, at a minimum, highly consider some sort of analog sights, like an etched reticle or backup irons, because batteries will die, optics will get banged up, and this thing will fail on you. All right, next up is your AR556 stock. It's definitely one of the most common upgrade to these rifles, probably one of the first ones that people go to. But what are you exactly looking for in a stock upgrade? Length of pull range, comfortable cheek rest, storage, or sling mounting options. These are questions you have to ask yourself. So thinking about your basic AR 556 Ruger stock here from a functionality and performance standpoint, is a new stock going to increase your rifle's performance? No, not really. But the right butt stock might actually help improve the way that you function with your rifle. Like choosing a collapsible stock that locks in place to reduce this floppy back end. I'd say the decision here rests primarily on comfort and ergonomics. So how does this hard polymer butt feel against your shoulder? Is it too skinny? Is it too sharp? Is it too tall? Is it too short? Another question is, how does your cheek weld feel on this stock? I know for me, this standard stock, it feels, it's skinny. It feels sharp on my skinny cheek. So I'd be looking for something more wider, like the Magpul SL or the B5 Bravo SOP mod. What about slings and sling installation? How easy is it to install, adjust, or take off? Would a stock with QD mounts be faster for you? Is your stock long enough for your arms, especially when it's fully extended? These are the types of things that you can solve with the right upgrade. But if there's one thing there's a ton of as far as options go, it's going to be your stocks, your collapsible stocks, colors all through the rainbow, sexy designs to simple. The point is, make the damn thing as comfortable and practical as you can for your mission, and you just might actually start to see some improved accuracy, speed from that more ergonomic and maneuverable platform. And you get some cool points for style. All right, next easy and practical upgrade, your pistol grip. Like your stock, it's not gonna change the way that your rifle shoots, but it definitely will lend itself to improving your personal performance, dexterity, specifically when it comes to the grip material. So try keeping questions like these in mind when you're out at the range. How does that grip feel with or without gloves? It's hard plastic, it's hard polymer. Stippling not the deepest on this, so maybe wet your hand a little bit and manipulate your rifle around. See if you can find the point where it slips away. Then decide if that grip is going to work for you or not. So from that comfort and ergonomic standpoint for your pistol grip, focus on the angle of the grip while you're out there on the range. Does this steep, kind of raked back angle feel comfortable to you? Do your fingers line up with the small little well that's down here on the bottom, or does it get in the way? How about the width of your grip? Do you think like a wider grip might be better for your bare paws, or stick with something that's pretty thin? All of those things can also be fine-tuned, and I bet more than 80% of you will want to change out your stock pistol grip at some point. So with that in mind, grips like the Magpul Mo Plus or the Hogue overmolded grip, they're pretty damn popular. They have less of an aggressive angle to help straighten out your shooting wrist. They're wider for a little better grip, and for me personally, they're both rubberized, which I like way better after they've been worn in. So I will say though that the storage under the Mo Plus is why most of us here have it on our rifles. It's just enough storage for an extra battery and a cleaning cloth, maybe an Allen wrench, and that's almost all you need. All right, the next upgrade, probably the most beneficial you can make to your rifle, it's the Handguard. Look, if you got a screaming deal on your AR 556, it's definitely worth a new Handguard sooner than later for something more useful and purpose-driven. I mean, how else are you going to deck this thing out with lights and sights and grips if you got no place to install them? Not to mention this short little carbine length for the Handguard definitely doesn't fit everybody's optimal reach or the grip width comfort. So again, from that comfort and ergonomic standpoint, swapping out your Handguard might actually be the key to customizing the rifle to you individually. Like, do you need a wider grip around your Handguard? Do you need a longer grip? Will all of those accessories that you want to slap on your Handguard, will they all fit on the short carbine length? In today's AR-15 shooting world, 90% or more of the accessories are out there. They're designed to work with either Picatinny rails, M-lock rails, so at a minimum, if you have this old M4 style Handguard like mine here, at least swap it out for something more functional like the Magpul Mo, which has M-lock slots for accessories, If you're a Picatinny type of person, there's a ton of these carbine length drop-in quad rails. Probably the most popular, this one here from Midwest Industries drop-in quad. Probably the easiest upgrade that you can make, obviously, the charging handle. This one, just drop one in, close up shop, you're ready to go. But what makes an upgrade from your standard GI style handle? Functionality-wise, charging handles with grooves or indexes provide much better gripping surface for your fingers instead of like a skinny, slick-sided one that comes on your rifle. Performance also plays a part in some charging handle designs, with several having grooves or relief cuts to port off excess gas from getting in your face, especially if you're thinking about a suppressor down the road. Comfort, ergonomics, probably the top reason that most folks are swapping out their charging handles. It's for that ability to grab either side and release the latch. Double that with more grip and racking this thing becomes pretty stupid easy. You'll also find a variety of charging handle widths out there. Most charging handles aren't so wide that they'll stab you in the sternum when you sling them across your front. But there's also this consideration for potentially snagging your gear while maneuvering. If you typically don't run with full battle rattle or kit, then probably not a huge deal for you. But I still like to find a balance between wide enough to easily manipulate around that forward assist and skinny enough that it's not always in the damn way. Let's talk about your muzzle device, and does it bring enough value to consider upgrading? Because a lot of people do, and the A2 birdcage, or the one designed like it, like the one that we have on this Ruger, already extremely popular, probably the right tool for 80% or more of us. But there are logical reasons beyond being sexy to change yours out. While you're at the range shooting your stock AR-556, take notice of how far your muzzle travels after firing and how long it takes you to get back on target to squeeze again. Some of you guys built like brick walls might hardly move at all, while others might have a ton of rise travel. So if that's you, you can look into upgrading the A2 or the A2 style design for a better design compensator, and it might get you slightly faster target acquisition. Again, unless you're just throwing something on there because it looks cool, or you really want to squeeze out every bit of edge that you can get, this guy that comes on the end, it'll suit you just fine. All right, the next one, not necessarily an upgrade, does bring a ton of practical value for your first accessories that you should think about adding to your AR-556. It's a sling. 1-point, 2-point mounting, QD or not. Either way, having a way to sling the rifle and carry it not only means it'll be with you and ready at all times, it also keeps you from resting it on something, having it tip over in the dirt, having to knock out 20 push-ups for falling over. I know around here, the Magpul MS4, it's on a lot of our personal rifles. Lucky for you though, we break down all 8 of the Magpul slings in this video right over here, so go have a look. We'll see you over there.